What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review. Today, an Emillyywang VOD review. I've done a few Emillyywang VOD reviews before, but, you might say, okay, why are we VOD reviewing Emillyywang? She's obviously, sometimes one of the top players, very, very high ranked in North America, but she's right now doing a subathon, actually. If I hover over this VOD, you can see she streamed for 48 hours. I think some of this she was sleeping during. Some of this she's watching, like, I don't know, Kitchen Nightmares and sleeping, which I definitely shouldn't show that because I'm going to get demonetized. But we're VOD reviewing Emillyywang because I wanted to continue on this theme of us VOD reviewing some of these lesser played comps that can be good in the right spots because, I think it's good to understand all these lines, especially as they get more buffed and other comps get nerfed. But also just if you have a good spot for one of these lines, you can actually still win out with it. You can do very well with it. And so that's a lot of what TFT is about. Obviously, if you get dropped a couple of Syndras with a Shojin start, you play around Syndra. Also, if you get dropped Pilfer, take this augment every time. This augment is broken. Our other options are interesting. Stars Are Born can be good if you want to play something like Syndra, something like Kassadin. And then Category 5 can be good if you want to play like Jinx. Kog'Maw is quite good with it. But Pilfer is just absolutely broken. You get 5 gold and you get to farm every unit that you kill. Every first unit that you kill, you farm it, which means if you kill a 3 cost, you're getting an extra 3 gold. Late game, if you kill like a 4 cost, you get 4 gold. This thing is broken, especially because it gives you that 5 to start with. I believe somebody said that on PBE, they're changing it to give you 0 gold to start, and then you just get that farming effect, which is honestly still probably fine. I was talking to Demacian Raptor about this, habitual rank 1 EU Northeast, and he said they could make it a prismatic and have it give you like, I don't know, 8 gold or something, and it would still be pickable. And like, honestly, I don't disagree. So here we're gonna kill the dummy first, which I don't think does anything, and then we're gonna kill this Elise. So we're going to get an Elise onto our bench, which is actually really, really nice because this gives us Elise too. When you take this augment, you actually want to be scouting a lot so that you can make sure that you kill the right unit here. But Emily's like, I don't know, eating chips or something, so fair enough. But yeah, I won't completely reveal the comp that we end up playing this game because people like it when I keep it a little bit of a secret as we get further into the game and you guys can see what we end up playing. But the comp we end up playing this game is not a very common one. It's not one that I think a lot of people are playing around, but if you hit the conditions for it, which we are going to talk, it can absolutely win out. It can absolutely be really strong. So we're actually fortunately on the Nunu here, which is really, really good. That's a 2 gold unit that we're farming in this situation. The only sad thing is we might end up losing this fight just because of the tanky of this Blitzcrank unit. Man, Blitzcrank is a force to be reckoned with just items on him and a Blitzcrank too. So happens. There's our Nunu, so now we can surely make 30 gold. And yeah, okay, now Emily is doing some scouting and saying, okay, I need to position so that I can actually kill the most high cost unit. Best case, you're hitting like the 3 cost units. That's like GG's if you can kill a 3 cost unit. But here, look, 2 cost units in the front line. We are in a 2 cost reroll meta, so there's very often stuff like these Kassadins, like these Gallios. If you're playing against like a shapeshifter version of a comp like Shyvanas and stuff like that, Rumbles as well. There's so many 2 costs out there, and a lot of 3 costs as well because people really want to be playing 3 costs with these boards. They want to be playing the Mordekaisers with their Eldritch boards. They want to be playing, like the Hekarims with their multi-striker boards. So it makes a lot of sense. All right, here is the first big decision point that allows us to actually play a really, really interesting comp is taking Spat here. Spat on a 3 cost, really, really solid, and there's a lot of stuff that you can play from Spat. We have more AD items, right? We have a full IE open in this situation with a Spark made, which is kind of weird. The Spark Slam ends up being kind of awkward this game because we make Spark, but then we have like Sword plus Glove, and if we don't get to a tier, then it becomes kind of awkward. But we pick up the Spat off Carousel, and so this opens up a huge, universe of different comps that can be played here. We talked last video about the Portal comp that you can play. There is also Vertical Witchcraft is one of the best spats that you can craft, but I'll just give you a brief spoiler. We're not getting to Vertical Witchcraft this game. I mean, our items are just... What the hell is that emote? What the fuck? My God. I wish I got gifted subs like Emillyywang gets gifted subs. Holy shit. In any case... This is not something that's easy to play for, Witchcraft from our spot, but what is actually quite reasonable to play for from this position is we pick up a Varus here, and Emily, I think, starts to get the idea that, wait, we could play a vertical Pyro game. Pyro Spat is craftable with a bow, so you can play vertical Pyro if you crafted with a bow, and we have full IE for Varus, which is one of his better items. He really likes IE. Shojin's quite good on him as well. He likes very similar items to like Kaisa of last set, where you just want him to get that big cast off and do a ton of damage. There is some discourse on whether Last Whisper is good versus bad on him because of the idea that it's not going to apply to the first hit of his ult, which is really, really important. Emily, can we cover this up? I don't know. I almost feel like it's like, I don't know if I can show. I mean, it's obviously not like, okay, in any case, we get dropped a bow here, which is what we need if we want to craft our Pyro spatula here. We also get dropped this, which is full item, which seems really, really nice for potentially getting to Varus items. And yeah, I think once we see these components, we can really, really lock into the idea of us actually playing around Varus this game. Now, we don't have to like full pivot our board yet. We don't have like a really, really good board here. And ooh, Emily makes the call to take the transform 2 cost into 3 cost here. She sells her other 2 costs and she gets a 2-star Katarina here, which is not that amazing, but it's not too bad here. Even Shroud, perhaps we're gonna go for just the Sunfire Cape to guarantee the heal cut, because I think maybe she's still not completely sure that she wants to be playing around this comp. And I mean, Sunfire is certainly a good item in every circumstance, so I'm down to make this. And this also looks like it's gonna be a pretty good loss for us going into the augment here. Sadly, we can't get any kind of like Pyro type augment, but that's fine. We're getting Prismatic here. I don't think we would ever take Invested or Prismatic Ticket here. We have already taken an Econ Augment at this point in the game. You tend to not want to take double Econ Augment unless they scale with each other. I guess theoretically you could say the gold from Pilfer fuels Prismatic Ticket, but we're not really close to a reroll comp. I really want some kind of combat item. Radiant Refractor seems fine if we have to go for it. I don't think Radiant IE is like the best Radiant item. Maybe we could get something else from here, though I don't know what that would be. Anger Issues, close to untakeable, and Spellcaster's Toolbox. I guess if you wanted to play Karma, you could take this, but we're so far away from having good Karma items with these being the rest of our components. Like, you throw Mana Zane Zanya's on her, and then, I mean, what? You're throwing Witchcraft Spat, and then, I mean, actually, it doesn't actually sound that bad to take this and play Witchcraft here. Mana Zane Zanya's, and then Witchcraft Spat, and then these, the rest of these items become, like Fiora items. You make like, I don't know, a GS or like a BT or something, and these become like LWBT or something. I don't completely hate the idea, but Emily is going to commit to the much more fun and much more interesting idea of making a Pyro emblem here and playing around Varus here. So we're going to make the IE. I would consider actually holding this tier. You could obviously slam a Gargoyle, but I would consider holding this tier for potentially a Shojin here. But she is going to also make the Zenith Edge because she has to make something in this situation. So we have Radiant IE now. And she took the glove, just to have another glove item for Varus. Maybe she's not really that interested in the Shojin. I'm down to actually peek real quick at the statistics, and I'm sorry that that the video is going to lag out a little bit because Tactics.tools is a cool site, but it is kind of poorly optimized. Boom, another Varus as well. That's the nice thing about playing these less contested lines. I've talked about this before, but just you know, when you play these less contested lines, it's so much easier to hit. Actually, the statistics don't like Shojin that much. Okay. I mean, still looks like it's a pretty common final build for him, but even something like Last Whisper GS looks like maybe his BIS. Okay, Shojin still looks solid, though. It's just not like one of... There actually are just better items to build. Interesting. I didn't know that. It just says it's positive delta, which is wild, but, you know, maybe sometimes you need a little positive delta in your life, just because that's the way that it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The statistics, you see a lot of Shojin being built. It might just be, you know, it's a very frequently built item, so the stats don't love it that much. In any case, we have this glove open here. We are going to go for the Nasus on Carousel because this is another Pyro unit that we want to fit in here. We've actually found the 2 4 costs and none of the other Pyros, which is really, really funny. We, at this point, have to dig and hope that we find the rest of them. Honestly, all 2s here doesn't seem that crazy. And we farmed a Mordekaiser last fight, which gives us Mordekaiser too. And yeah, she's looking at this Even Shroud Stem. I love this. I think it's better in general to build Even Shroud in this comp just so that you get that damage on that first hit of Varus. The only downside is that, of course, LW is a really, really nice slam with IE. So, like, that's the only thing that makes me hesitant about whether or not Last Whisper is BIS. It might still be BIS on Varus just because of the fact that you get that synergy with IE. So I think it makes sense. I also wonder if it's ever take all 2s here just to dig for an Akali. I guess that Emily is confident that she can pick up an Akali at some point in this game. game, which you know, fair enough. Also, we pick up a Taric here, who's someone that we could certainly fit down the line as front line along with the Shen. There's also this Hecarim that we're holding on to because multi-striker is pretty easy to fit on the board. That'll be interesting to see if we end up fitting it. Looks like she's just going to go for the 4 blaster version of this comp. There's a lot of versions of this comp that you can play, like I was talking about, maybe fitting like multi-striker type stuff in, you know, just playing around vertical blaster. I've seen like some more like shapeshifters played in this comp. There's a lot of versions, so I'm excited to see what Emillyywang plays here. And we're down to 39 HP. We're getting a little bit low in this position here, but yeah, looks like this is what she wants to play. Just multi-striker, or not multi-striker, but blaster plus the pyro, which makes sense. I mean, the synergies fit together very, very nicely. All right, sell these Vigars here. We need another Varus item here. We don't have one. QSS, I guess, could just be it if it has to be. And we are going to go 8 here and just roll it down. Try to pick up that 5-Pyro, because 5-Pyro is a huge spike in scenarios like this. Going to pick up the Shen 2, which is big. The Varus 2, which is also big. Still taking for 1 Akali, right? We haven't found 1 Akali on the roll down, which is a little bad. Ooh, and we can do this. Yeah, wow. Huge play from Emily there to reforger the Ionic Spark here. She has the Reforger on bench, so she knows, like, I don't need Ionic Spark in this comp. Reforges it into a GS, and then she just gets to slam out a Hodge here. I mean, that was actually really, really smart to go for that reforge there. It actually kind of saves our itemization here, because now we have 3-item Varus, when before we would have only had 2-item Varus max Sport Golem. Fantastic to take in almost every scenario, so we will just take that. We have a Swain too, and this guy too, so can't be too upset about that. And woo, we are hitting everything here. This could be actually a little bit of an overroll from Emily, because like I think she does still really want that 5-Pyro setup, but I mean, I think our board is certainly strong enough, yeah, at this point. And she does decide to stop rolling here and say, you know what, we've hit everything 2-star. Now we can really, really see this board pop up, but we still don't have the 5-Pyro, which is really what I think makes this board go insane. The jump from 4 to 5-Pyro is nuts. That is why this is a comp talking about like the conditions for you playing this comp. This is not a comp I would ever play without a spat or without a Pyro emblem. This is a comp where you really, really need those, oh my god, a second Varus too? I mean, we can hold it for the potential Varus 3. And yeah, honestly, I don't completely hate this just to dig for an Akali to play. And boom, there's our Akali, which has to get fit on this board somehow. We'll see how Rain... not Rain, but Emily thinks about playing it. But yeah, I mean, it's got to go on the board. It has to. It has to. All right. And yeah, I mean, now you can really see the 5-Pyro pop off. Look at this, man. Varus 10k damage dealt, just one-tapping everything on the entire board, right? He gets this huge execute. He gets a ton of attack speed to work with. Yeah, does she hover over 5-Pyro here? I want to see the 5-Pyro hover here just for... No, she hovers Bastion, man. Oh, she hovered Pyro for like half a second, man. I don't know if I'm going to be able to screen grab that. I mean, I can... There we go. 70% attack speed and execute under 18% HP. So gross. And obviously, the better Pyro stats you're getting, the more you're collecting these little Pyro orbs. So, I mean, I think this is huge for us. Ooh, I also see something pretty juicy on the carousel. That's a Smolder who fits beautifully onto this board. Oh, and it was really scary. It looked like that other person was going to steal this from us, but we do get it. Smolder, the best, I would say, holder of this Pyro emblem. Not only does Smolder fly around the board and, you know, apply it very well, can often execute units, but also, ooh, he also farmed a Diana, holy. But also it just, you know, fits very well into the board as a blaster that you can play. So I think this makes sense. This is smart as well to pick up those free shop refreshes, just for now, why not? And yeah, we're just playing, it's kind of, you know, like a 3 Bastion board right now, but these are good units, right? She doesn't want to cut the Diana because Diana is really, really solid, and we're holding this extra Diana, which could be a Diana 2 at some point. Best case scenario, I guess maybe we get like a blaster emblem or something, and then we can play that 3 Frost version, because the Frost units fit very well onto this board, as Emily has sort of pointed out in her gameplay, where, you know, like you have a Bastion Frost, you have a Shapeshifter Frost, and you have a Blaster Frost. That's why really, really early on into PB, people were talking about the Fire and Ice version of this comp, where you just play Pyro and you play Frost, because they have such inbuilt synergy. Sadly, this is not a comp that has been able to shine very much so far this set, just because the units I don't think are tuned high enough. Blaster is not a very good vertical synergy, but Pyro, when you can get to this 5-Pyro, you can see none of these fights are close, man. This Varus is just tearing through entire boards, and we were easily coasting to a level 9, where we can potentially add that 4th Bastion. We can add, you know, another Frost unit, perhaps. We'll see. You could add like 4 Blaster and take out the Taric Taric, and then you would be playing potentially the Ezreal plus the Hui, and then you would get Frost in, you would lose the 2 Bastion. But I think Emily just wants to be able to play for like the really solid front line here, so I think that makes sense. Ton of gold off minions here, really just looking for Nasus items in this situation here, and maybe an item for the Smolder. I mean, do you ever go like Edge of Night Redemption or something? Obviously, Gargoyle is like one of the best items that you can build on Nasus, but the downside is that leaves Sterax for Smolder, which I don't think is amazing. I think we can do a statistics check on Smolder items here, because once again, this is not something that I think a lot of people have played around, and I think, you know, this can be instructive on like how you would do these kind of things. So Pyro Emblem, User, Smolder, and then you can just look at items. Obviously, Gwyn's really good. Obviously, IE really good. We can sort by Delta here. I've already filtered down to only craftable items. Yeah, the statistics on Edge of Night actually don't look bad. I think it's actually pretty reasonable that you build something like Edge of Night on Smolder just to keep Smolder alive, right? You know, you don't want stuff, yeah, like this stuff looks pretty bad, obviously. Red buff is still fine. There's a lot of good items that, you know, the stats say it's really good to put items on a Smolder with Pyro Emblem, makes sense. But yeah, obviously Deathblade, Renans, stuff like Gwynsu, IE, just generically good. Okay, so then in that case, I think I do like Edge of Night Redemption here. The only downside is we don't have that many resists onto the Nasus here. And yep, she is going to go for the Edge of Night Redemption, take the bunch of belts here, and then we could look at potentially like just a level next round, get the Varus in, and then start living for that Varus 3 win condition on 9. I guess we could also just send it here on 8 if we really just want to play for Varus. I think maybe if we had a duplicator, if we had taken like new recruit this game, maybe you would just roll it down here on 8. But I think the consistency of going 9 feels really good in this spot. Interesting that she's not holding the Hui as well. So I want to see what Emily's final board ends up. Oh, I mean, now that we do have a Varus, I wonder if, I honestly think maybe we should just scout here and roll for Varus 3 in this situation, because the odds with that amount of gold of hitting Varus 3, I think, are pretty decent. She had like 70 gold to roll. And if there are no Varuses out of the pool, I think it's a pretty high chance. But we just want to play for highest consistent board strength here, which is just going to be leveling for Bastion here. I guess Emily is making the call that we don't really need more damage here, and also 3 Frost is pretty, you know, mediocre as far as the synergy goes. We would rather just level here, spike our board, play the 4 Bastion, and, you know, just have enough frontline for everybody, which I think makes sense. We farm another Morgana. Man, this augment is so good, and we're gonna just roll it down here, try to pick up some upgrades. Really digging for that Smolder too is the big thing in this situation, because we've hit basically everything else. We have nothing else to hit other than, of course, the Varus 3. But yeah, I don't think anyone else in this lobby is playing Varus. I would be quite shocked if there was another Varus line here, but I, you know, I wanted to show off this comp because you can see the work that it does. And I think, you know, so many people are tired of the Syndra metas. I do think this is a comp that can theoretically beat Syndra just because of the amount of burst damage that you have, where you can just blow through the Syndra's front line in a couple of hits and then get onto the Syndra quickly enough. Whereas, you know, like some other comps definitely have issues there. Ooh, I mean, we could certainly take another Pyro +1. There's also just not a really good item here to take outside of that. We are going to lose that, but we do get the Bastion +1, which is nice. This allows us to fit in another unit instead of this Lilia, which feels really good. Maybe we can find just a solid 5 cost. I mean, even a random Xerath here with the idea of potentially picking up a Hecarim over this this Taric here, I think makes a lot of sense, and just playing for the Arcana synergy makes sense. And oh my god, what a roll down. We actually I don't like telling the extra unit there, but I mean, this is fine, selling the Xerath, because I do want to play Xerath on this board. Oh, I think she did, yeah, she did sell the Xerath just to have enough time to pick this up. And hey, I mean, getting the good unit in is certainly more important, getting the Smolder in. And yeah, she does end up picking the Xerath back up with the idea that we are going to play around him potentially very soon. I mean, double Varus is not bad, by the way. It's just that the second Varus I doubt is going to do too much damage. I think we just roll down here for some kind of Arcana unit, ideally the Hecarim, so that we can fill out that 4 Bastion still. I would honestly put him in Planner. But yeah, I mean, you can see the Smolder with Edge of Night just flying around the entire board, shooting everybody. The Varus doing a ton of extra damage. I mean, honestly, the Smolder would be doing more damage if Varus wasn't doing so much. It's like Varus is hogging all the damage for himself, which, I mean, fair enough. I can't be too mad about that, but feels a little bit bad actually for the rest of the board. And I mean, I guess Emily did end up just fitting into Shapeshifter here. Our main tank is a Nasus this game, so I mean, maybe this is just the final board. I guess we would have preferred to fit in, I mean, we are fitting in Dragon as well, which is kind of cool with the Shyvana is the idea. I don't know how important Dragon really is here, and oh my god, wait, so we could actually one off Varus the Third. Just Gunblade, I guess, is fine enough. You could go LW, I guess, is another option, but yeah, one off. Can we hit? We have a lot of time actually actually to hit this Varus 3 very close. You know, I really actually wish we had Arcana in, because then you have the opportunity of like high rolling the Arcana that gives you a copy of all the 4 costs. Then you just, you know, if you hit that, then you're guaranteed the Varus 3. But really close here. But you can see even without Varus 3, we are stomping these boards here. Another couple of Smolders. Reroll with all 5 costs sadly does not do what we're really looking for. We do go for it just for the, oh, and there it is. Oh my god. Well, if this comp was doing work with Varus 2, I mean, let's just watch and see what Varus 3 can do. This is a pretty tanky enemy board here. We get up to our first cast, boom, one taps everybody that it hits, auto, getting up to a second cast, boom, one taps those units, and then walks up here 28,000 damage from the Varus. I mean, yeah, this game is completely over, unless somebody else can hit some other 3-star 4 cost. But yeah, or a 3-star 5 cost. You know, sometimes you can, if you're in this situation, you can, and you're the enemy player, you can sell your entire board and say like, okay, I mean, the only way I win is if I sell board and hit something else. So I think maybe that could be an option, but I mean, no one is close to anything. This person has a duplicator, but they have 3 Karmas and 3 Callistas. That's it. So I don't think that is happening. Emily just destroys this player here. We get another nice cutscene, and it is just Voidson left in the situation. And they are actually just going to FF here. Hey, that's less content for me. What the hell? Yeah, Emily is so sad that she didn't get to play out more fights, but I wanted to show off this comp. Obviously, Varus 3 is certainly a win-out situation, but I wanted to show off this comp because with Pyro +1, if you meet this condition, this can be a really strong comp, and we saw that even without the Varus 3, we were already winning out in this lobby. So I just wanted to show off this comp for you guys to show that there are more ways to play the game. There are more comps that exist if you hit those conditions. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch and all my links down below. Thanks for watching.